Discovering where online horror on 4chan started means looking at the beginning and the impact of the /X board. This forum began in the mid-2000s and was a place to talk about supernatural events and mysteries. It quickly caught the attention of users who were interested in the paranormal. At first, it covered various topics like alien encounters and mysterious creatures. Over time, /X became a community driven by fear and fascination. This change marked the beginning of some of the scariest online stories, where users could explore their darkest thoughts anonymously and without limits. The creation of /X and its role in fostering creepy narratives. Understanding the significance of /X in shaping the dark storytelling culture of 4chan requires delving into its origins and examining its impact on the wider internet. The /X board, often referred to as paranormal, was established on 4chan in the mid-2000s. It quickly became a forum for discussing supernatural phenomena, conspiracy theories, and all things eerie. Initially, the board's themes were broad, covering everything from UFO sightings to cryptozoology. However, it didn't take long for /X to evolve into a hub specifically for horror enthusiasts. Users found a unique sense of community in their shared fascination with the macabre. This shift made /X a breeding ground for some of the most spine-chilling narratives to grace the internet. Unlike more structured forums, 4chan's anonymity allowed for uninhabited creativity and expression, fostering an environment where users could share their deepest fears and darkest imaginings without reservation. One reason /X became so popular among horror aficionados was its ability to blend real-world fears with fictional elements seamlessly. People would post about strange occurrences they experienced or heard of, blurring the line between reality and fiction. This ambiguity sparked conversations and debate, keeping the community engaged and constantly coming back for more. The lack of moderation also meant that stories could reach extreme levels of terror, free from censorship or moral policing. User-generated content played a pivotal role in creating the unsettling atmosphere that defined /X. Stories like the infamous Russian sleep experiment and creatures like Zalgo began as simple posts, but quickly evolved into full-fledged internet legends. These narratives were crafted collaboratively, with multiple users contributing to the lore and expanding the mythos through follow-up posts, fan art, and even videos. Such collaborative storytelling not only enriched the content itself, but also reinforced the sense of community among /X's denizens. For example, the Russian sleep experiment story captivated readers with its gruesome and psychologically disturbing premise involving Soviet-era sleep deprivation experiments gone horribly wrong. It wasn't just the graphic descriptions that made it memorable, but also how it tapped into deep-seated anxieties about government secrecy and human experimentation. Another instance is the creation of Zalgo, a demonic entity characterized by corrupted text and nightmarish imagery. Originally posted on /X, it quickly spread across other parts of the internet, influencing various other horror narratives. These stories set the stage for how future online horror tales would be told. They demonstrated that fear isn't just about what you see or hear, but also what you imagine. The minimalist yet evocative nature of many /X stories left much to the reader's imagination, making them all the more terrifying. As these tales gained traction, they spilled over into other online communities and media formats, from creepypasta to websites to YouTube channels specializing in horror narration. The influence of /X on subsequent online horror narratives can't be overstated. Its impact is evident in the proliferation of urban legends and internet mysteries that followed. Websites like creepypasta.com owe much of their existence and success to the groundwork laid by /X contributors. Characters and stories originating from /X became foundational elements in the broader landscape of digital horror. For instance, the anonymous and freewheeling nature of 4chan provided a model for other horror forums that emerged later, emphasizing user engagement and collective storytelling. Moreover, the anonymized environment of /X encouraged a form of horror storytelling that prioritized the idea over the identity of the storyteller. The democratization of narrative creation meant that anyone could contribute, and the best ideas naturally rose to prominence based on their merit and the fear they instilled, rather than the reputation of the author. This approach has been mirrored in numerous other platforms, leading to a diverse array of voices contributing to the horror genre. Infamous early 4chan legends like Slenderman and Candle Cove phenomenon. The emergence of the Slenderman myth is one of 4chan's most iconic early legends. This eerie figure, first introduced on the Something Awful forum in 2009, quickly became a staple of internet horror. The character was created by Eric Knudsen, known online as Victor Surge, during a Photoshop contest centered around adding supernatural elements to otherwise mundane photographs. Knudsen posted 2 images of children with a tall, faceless figure lurking in the background, accompanied by cryptic captions that hinted at malevolent intentions and mysterious disappearances. The uniqueness of the Slenderman story lies in its blend of visual and textual storytelling. These initial posts set the stage for what would become a collaborative narrative. As internet users across various forums, including 4chan, picked up the story, they began adding their own experiences, sightings, and lore to the mythos. This collective contribution helped shape Slenderman into a multifaceted entity, blending elements of fear, uncertainty, and psychological horror. Slenderman's adaptations in various media forms further cemented his place in digital folklore. He quickly transitioned from forum posts and fan fiction to more mainstream platforms. One notable adaptation was the web series Marble Hornets, which presented itself as found footage documenting a film crew's encounters with the Slenderman. This series not only expanded the legend, but also introduced new elements, such as the operator symbol and additional characters. The popularity of Marble Hornets demonstrated the potential for user-generated content to transcend its origins and reach a wider audience. Moreover, Slenderman inspired several video games, most notably Slender: The 8 Pages and its sequel Slender: The Arrival. These games placed players in dark, foreboding environments where they had to collect items while avoiding Slenderman's relentless pursuit. The first-person perspective and minimalistic design captured the essence of helplessness and fear that defined the original creepypasta. Additionally, Slenderman made appearances in other media like television shows, including an episode of Supernatural, and even influenced films such as The Tall Man and Always Watching, a Marble Hornets story. While Slenderman captivated audiences with his chilling presence, another prominent legend from 4chan emerged around the same time: Candle Cove. Created by Chris Straub, Candle Cove tells the story of an eerie children's television show remembered by a group of individuals through an online forum discussion. The show's disturbing content, including unsettling puppets and cryptic episodes, left a lingering sense of dread among those who recalled watching it as children. Straub initially conceived Candle Cove as a short story published in 2009 on his website. However, it quickly gained traction on platform sites like 4chan and Reddit, where users began sharing it as if it were a real urban legend. The story's format, presented as a series of forum posts, added to its authenticity and immersion. Fans embraced this narrative wholeheartedly, contributing their own theories, memories, and supplemental content to the growing mythos. One reason for Candle Cove's enduring appeal is its open-ended nature, allowing readers to fill in the gaps with their imaginations. Fans created detailed analyses of the show's supposed episodes, discussed the potential symbolism behind its bizarre characters, and even produced fan art and videos. Some enthusiasts went as far as to create mock episodes of the fictional show, adding layers of interactivity and engagement to the creepypasta. The collaborative expansion of Candle Cove turned it into a living piece of digital folklore, constantly evolving with each new contribution. The implications of these fan expansions are significant. By immersing themselves in the world of Candle Cove, fans not only enhanced the story but also blurred the lines between fiction and reality. The phenomenon underscores how modern horror storytelling can thrive in the digital age, tapping into communal fears and shared experiences. This interactive element carries the potential to influence future narratives, encouraging creators to consider the impact of audience participation in shaping their stories. In examining the broader cultural reception of these legends, it's evident that both Slenderman and Candle Cove have had lasting impacts on internet folklore and mainstream media. Slenderman, with his unsettling appearance and enigmatic background, tapped into primal fears and the anxieties of an increasingly connected world. His rise to fame reflects society's fascination with the unknown and the power of the internet to create and propagate myths. Similarly, Candle Cove's success reveals how nostalgia and shared childhood fears can be harnessed to craft compelling horror stories. The tale's structure, mimicking real-life discussions and recollections, makes it resonate deeply with readers. It demonstrates the effectiveness of blending familiar elements with the uncanny, creating a sense of unease that lingers long after the story is read. Both legends illustrate the role of online communities in shaping contemporary digital folklore. They highlight the potential for user-generated content to transcend its origins, becoming a part of a larger cultural framework. The interactive and collaborative nature of these stories fosters deeper engagement and investment from audiences, ensuring their continued relevance in the evolving landscape of horror storytelling. Creeping from the shadows, modern legends and their influence. Modern legends and internet folklore have seeped into our daily scrolling, often leaving us fascinated and sometimes spooked. This chapter takes a deep dive into unsettling stories spawned from 4chan, examining how they've influenced our online communities and broader internet culture. These tales often start as simple posts but evolve into complex narratives that capture the imagination of countless users worldwide. The way they spread and take on new meanings highlights both the creativity and darker tendencies found in online spaces. One such story is Pepe the Frog's transformation from a light-hearted meme to a controversial icon. Originally an innocent character, Pepe's image has been co-opted by various groups, taking on negative connotations over time. Another focal point is the Backrooms, a chilling narrative about endless eerie rooms that originated from a single disconcerting post. We'll also explore how these tales have crept into mainstream media, impacting modern horror films, games, and other forms of entertainment. Finally, the themes of anonymity and collective authorship will be dissected to understand their role in shaping these modern legends. Pepe the Frog's transformation from meme to controversial icon. Pepe the Frog has had a remarkable journey from an innocent comic character to a symbol with heavy connotations in online culture. Created by Matt Fury, Pepe originated in the 2005 comic series Boys Club. The character was a laid-back, happy-go-lucky frog who quickly caught the attention of the internet. His signature phrase, "Feels good, man," became especially popular, propelling Pepe into meme stardom. As Pepe began to permeate various online spaces, his image underwent a massive transformation. Initially, he was part of light-hearted humor on platforms like 4chan and Reddit, where users would share Pepe memes to express a range of emotions: joy, sadness, irony. The simplicity of Pepe's design made it easy for users to modify and adapt him for countless situations, further embedding him into meme culture. But as time went on, different online subcultures started to co-opt Pepe for more nefarious purposes. The shift in Pepe's imagery didn't happen overnight. Gradually, certain groups began to use Pepe in a way that twisted his original fun-loving nature. These subcultures included communities with extreme ideologies that saw Pepe as a versatile symbol for their messages. Hate groups, including some white supremacist factions, adopted Pepe and used his image alongside offensive or racist content. Consequently, Pepe went from being a humorous icon to representing something far darker. The changes Pepe underwent culminated during the 2016 US presidential election. At this point, Pepe's association with extremist ideologies had cemented to such an extent that his image became a politically charged symbol. During the 2016 campaign, supporters of Donald Trump widely used Pepe memes to signify their allegiance to the candidate. This mainstream exposure didn't just politicize Pepe, it turned him into an emblem for far-right movements globally. Matt Fury, the creator, tried to reclaim Pepe's image through various efforts, including legal actions and media campaigns. However, these attempts were only partially successful. Despite genuine efforts to return Pepe to his innocent roots, the public consciousness had already shifted. Today, Pepe the Frog is a complex symbol that serves as a potent reminder of how easily internet culture can transform once benign symbols into loaded icons. To understand the full scope of Pepe's evolution, one must also consider how internet anonymity and collective authorship played roles. The decentralized nature of 4chan allowed anyone to contribute to Pepe's metamorphosis without revealing their identity. This anonymity emboldened users to push boundaries, which helped propagate Pepe's use among hate groups. The ability to remain anonymous gave a sense of protection, encouraging individuals to adopt and promote Pepe as a symbol of their radical beliefs. In examining Pepe's impact, it's also crucial to delve into the broader implications for internet culture. The co-option of Pepe by extremist groups serves as a cautionary tale about the potential dangers of unchecked communal content creation. While the collective nature of meme-making can foster creativity and connection, it can also be harnessed to spread harmful ideologies. The story of Pepe the Frog illustrates the dual-edged sword of online communities. On one hand, they offer a platform for global engagement and cultural expression. On the other, they give rise to the rapid dissemination of controversial or harmful ideas. This dynamic raises questions about responsibility and control in digital spaces. Should creators be held accountable for how their work is used? even when it's out of their hands? And what role should online platforms play in moderating content to prevent similar hijackings? While attempts to salvage Pepe's reputation continue, it seems unlikely that the character will ever fully escape his contentious associations. Yet the ongoing efforts reflect a larger struggle within internet culture, a battle over meaning and ownership of shared digital artifacts. These complex layers make Pepe not just a meme, but a case study in the sociology of online interaction. The unsettling narrative surrounding the Backrooms. The origins of the Backrooms legend on 4chan are fascinating and steeped in mystery. It all started with a viral post on the /X paranormal board of 4chan. The post featured a disconcerting image of an empty, dilapidated yellow room that seemed to stretch endlessly, accompanied by haunting text. This text described being trapped in an infinite maze of similarly ominous rooms, each seemingly devoid of life but teeming with an eerie presence. From this post, the Backrooms legend took off and evolved into a chilling modern myth. A key aspect of the Backrooms is its aesthetic rooted in liminal spaces, which play a significant role in making the concept so unnerving. Liminal spaces are places that feel familiar yet unsettling, like the transition areas in buildings, such as hallways or staircases. These are places that exist between defined areas, creating a sense of being caught between two worlds. The stark imagery of endless decaying office rooms with monotonous fluorescent lighting taps into this uneasy feeling. The result is a creepy, unnerving atmosphere that makes people feel lost and powerless, amplifying their fear and anxiety. What makes the Backrooms especially intriguing is how user-generated content has expanded the lore to create a collaborative horror experience. Originally a single striking post, it quickly morphed and grew as users from various online platforms like Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube began to contribute their own interpretations and stories. They added levels of danger, monstrous entities, and complex narratives, deepening the legend's allure. For example, some contributors invented terrifying creatures that lurk within these endless rooms, while others created maps and guides for hypothetical survivors attempting to navigate the treacherous environment. The collective creativity of internet users turned the Backrooms into a sprawling, immersive universe. This narrative underscores how online communities can transform simple ideas into expansive, immersive myths. Traditionally, folklore has been passed down through generations, evolving with each retelling. Similarly, the Backrooms has grown through the contributions of countless anonymous storytellers. Each addition to the lore is an act of communal storytelling akin to oral traditions, where every narrator adds their unique touch, ensuring the story's evolution and longevity. This process illustrates the powerful dynamic of internet culture, where shared imaginations come together to build something larger than any individual could achieve alone. The proliferation of the Backrooms legend highlights our collective fascination with eerie, unexplained phenomena and how digital culture shapes modern folklore. Unlike many traditional urban legends that rely on supernatural elements, the Backrooms taps into more tangible fears, those associated with mundane, decaying environments. This tangibility, paired with the boundless potential for interpretation, has captivated a wide audience, resulting in a thriving community dedicated to exploring and expanding the lore. However, the legend's resonance with contemporary anxieties is noteworthy. The fear of getting lost in an endless, mind-numbing space mirrors broader existential dread and feelings of insignificance in the vastness of the universe. The image of an abandoned, deteriorating office space may also reflect societal unease about urban decay, corporate life's soullessness, and the inexorable march of time. In this way, the Backrooms serves as a mirror to the fears and anxieties of the digital generation. As the legend continued to grow, creative responses sprang up, including video games, guided imagery narrations, and digital art, further embedding the Backrooms in contemporary folklore. Developers and artists have built upon the foundational concept, constructing intricate narratives and immersive experiences that amplify the legend's eerie charm. This engagement echoes ancient traditions of shared storytelling and communal myth-making, highlighting the timeless human impulse to weave stories and find meaning through collective imagination. The participatory nature of the Backrooms legend exemplifies how digital spaces have become fertile ground for contemporary folklore. Online forums and social media platforms allow stories to spread rapidly and evolve dynamically, reflecting the diverse voices and perspectives of global communities. This democratized narrative process challenges traditional notions of authorship and intellectual property, emphasizing collaboration over individual creation. Another compelling facet of the Backrooms legend is its ability to evoke a sense of unease through familiarity. By using ordinary-looking rooms as the basis for a horror story, the legend taps into the discomfort of everyday spaces becoming strange and disorienting. This relatability enhances the disturbing quality of the narrative, making it easier for listeners to imagine themselves trapped in such an environment. Ultimately, the Backrooms is a testament to the power of the internet as a platform for modern storytelling. It reflects the capacity of digital culture to create and propagate new forms of folklore that resonate with contemporary audiences. As our lives become increasingly intertwined with technology, it's no surprise that our legends and myths should adapt to this new landscape. Impact of these tales on contemporary horror media and content creation. One of the fascinating aspects of modern internet culture is the way 4chan horror stories have seeped into mainstream horror. This subpoint aims to explore how tales birthed in the shadows of this controversial forum have significantly influenced films, games, and other forms of media, thus transforming the landscape of contemporary horror. To start with, let's consider the impact of well-known 4chan horror creations like Slenderman and the Backrooms. These stories didn't just remain obscure rumors circulating within niche communities, they jumped into the broader consciousness of pop culture. For instance, Slenderman began as a creepypasta, a short horror story designed to scare readers, posted on 4chan in 2009. Its chilling premise and creepy visuals quickly garnered attention, leading to various adaptations including video games, documentaries, and even a Hollywood film. On a similar note, the Backrooms originated from an eerie 4chan post that described an unsettling endless maze of empty rooms. It ignited a wave of user-generated content from short films to computer games, evidencing the potent ripple effect these internet-born legends can create in mainstream media. Besides their notable adaptations, these stories are crucial for their innovative storytelling techniques. They blend elements of digital culture like memes, social media engagement, and viral marketing with traditional horror tropes. Unlike conventional narratives told through books or movies, 4chan horror stories often use a decentralized collaborative approach. Users contribute varying layers and interpretations, creating a rich tapestry that feels more immersive and real. Slenderman's evolution is a prime example of this. What started as a simple image macro spiraled into a full-fledged urban legend with contributions from countless anonymous creators. This method makes the tales feel alive, constantly evolving as new voices add to them. Further adding to the allure is the participatory nature facilitated by online horror forums. Platforms like 4chan allow audiences not only to consume stories but also to interact with and shape them. Readers can offer their own theories, write spin-offs, or create multimedia adaptations, turning passive observers into active participants. This engagement creates a sense of community and investment that goes beyond traditional storytelling. Interactive experiences such as alternate reality games or ARGs take this concept further, requiring audience participation to solve puzzles and advance the plot. This dynamic engagement model aligns well with current cultural trends that favor interactivity and co-creation over passive consumption. The cross-platform adaptation of these legends underscores another significant point: the potential of internet-born stories to influence broader popular culture. Slenderman, initially a mere digital curiosity, became a phenomenon featured in mainstream media, possibly due to its multi-platform presence. From text posts and images to video games and movies, each medium offered a different entry point for audiences to engage with the legend. This versatility demonstrates how internet-born stories can transcend their origins to become cultural mainstays, affecting a range of entertainment mediums. A key element sustaining these stories' longevity and appeal is the organic grassroots nature of their creation and propagation. Unlike traditional media, which often requires significant resources and gatekeeping, these horror narratives sprout from amateur creators and evolve through community interaction. This democratized creation process resonates with a generation raised on user-generated content like YouTube videos, podcasts, and social media posts. By fostering a participatory environment, 4chan horror stories reflect a broader shift in how modern audiences consume and interact with media. Another fascinating aspect of these stories is how they serve as a reflection of societal fears and anxieties. often amplified through the lens of digital culture. The fear of the unknown, lurking just beyond the comfort of our screens, resonates deeply in an age where technology permeates every facet of life. Whether it's the psychological dread of Slenderman stalking children in the woods or the eerie desolation of the Backrooms, these stories tap into primal fears while incorporating modern elements like digital manipulation and the vast unexplored depths of the internet. This combination adds a layer of relevance and immediacy to the horror, making it more relatable to contemporary audiences. The impact of these stories extends beyond their narrative content. The very structure of how they are disseminated and consumed has set new benchmarks for horror storytelling. Traditional horror usually follows a linear path, offering a clear beginning, middle, and end. In contrast, 4chan horror stories often adopt non-linear, fragmented approaches. They might consist of threads, comments, and multimedia elements scattered across various platforms, encouraging audiences to piece together the puzzle themselves. This method not only heightens suspense, but also engages readers on a deeper cognitive level, making the experience more memorable. Moreover, the collective authorship and anonymity inherent in 4chan contribute another layer to their influence. Anonymity allows users to express fears and ideas without inhibition, fostering creativity. Collective authorship means that stories are perpetually evolving, reflecting diverse perspectives and ideas. This narrative freedom results in richer, more varied content, contrasting with the often homogenized output of mainstream media. It also challenges traditional notions of intellectual property and individualism, focusing instead on communal creation and shared ownership. Themes of anonymity and collective identity in 4chan legends. Understanding the role of anonymity and collective authorship in 4chan-created legends is crucial for comprehending how these tales come to life and influence modern internet culture. Anonymity within 4chan plays a significant role in fostering creativity and collaboration among its users. Without the fear of personal judgment, individuals feel liberated to express their wildest ideas and contribute uniquely to ongoing stories. This freedom is essential, especially on platforms like 4chan, where the emphasis is on content rather than identity. One of the most intriguing aspects of 4chan is the notion of collective authorship. Unlike traditional storytelling, which often credits a single author, legends birthed on 4chan are the product of multiple contributors. This challenges the conventional ideas of intellectual property and individualism. In this environment, stories are not owned by one person, but are instead a communal effort, continuously evolving as others add their perspectives and ideas. This collaborative approach not only diversifies the narrative but also makes it richer in detail and complexity. The decentralized nature of 4chan further enhances the storytelling process. The platform's structure ensures that stories are influenced by a wide range of contributors, each bringing their background, experiences, and creativity into play. This diversity is vital as it prevents the stories from becoming monotonous and allows for the incorporation of various cultural influences and new twists. As a result, the legends formed here have layers of meaning and depth that might not be possible in a more centralized or controlled environment. These factors culminate in the creation of dynamic and unique legends that continually evolve. The democratized narrative process means that anyone can shape the direction of a story, making it an ever-changing tapestry woven by countless anonymous hands. This evolution is driven by the community's engagement, with each contribution adding something new and valuable to the legend. This kind of storytelling is fluid and adaptable, reflecting the collective imagination and the creativity of the community. Anonymity serves as a double-edged sword. While it fosters uninhibited creativity, it can also lead to the propagation of harmful and malicious content. However, in the context of legend making, the positive aspects often outshine the negatives. This anonymity provides a safe space for experimentation without the risk of personal backlash, resulting in innovative and boundary-pushing narratives. Users are more willing to share unconventional ideas and take creative risks, knowing they won't face direct criticism or reputational damage. Moreover, the element of anonymity allows for the blending of different writing styles and voices. Each contributor brings a distinct flair to the narrative, enriching the overall texture of the story. This amalgamation of styles produces a multifaceted narrative that keeps the audience engaged and eager for more. It's this variety and unpredictability that give 4chan legends their distinct flavor, setting them apart from more traditionally authored works. Collective authorship also transforms the way we perceive ownership of stories. On 4chan, the focus shifts from individual recognition to the story itself. This shift encourages more people to participate as the barriers to entry are significantly lower. Participants are motivated by the desire to see their contributions become part of a larger narrative rather than seeking personal fame or acknowledgement. This results in a more inclusive and participatory form of storytelling. The decentralized nature of 4chan contributes significantly to the richness and depth of its legends. With no central authority dictating the direction of the story, it's free to go wherever the collective imagination takes it. This leads to organic growth and unexpected developments, keeping the narrative fresh and exciting. The absence of a stringent editorial process means that stories can incorporate diverse elements and rapidly adapt to new inputs, reflecting the dynamic nature of online communities. These factors together create a storytelling environment that's both unpredictable and mesmerizing. The organic evolution of legends on 4chan showcases the power of collective creativity and the potential of decentralized narratives. It's a testament to what can be achieved when stories are allowed to grow and transform through the contributions of many. Psychological terror. Why we crave online horror. Our fascination with psychological terror and horror in online spaces such as 4chan is deeply rooted in our need to explore the darker aspects of human nature. These digital realms offer an anonymity that frees individuals from societal constraints, allowing them to engage in and create content that pushes the boundaries of conventional norms. The allure lies not just in the macabre stories themselves, but in the act of engaging with something that's typically shunned or feared. This chapter delves into the myriad factors that make these online horror spaces so compelling, from the thrill of anonymity to the deep-seated human curiosity about the unknown. Readers will discover how platforms like 4chan exploit our primal fears and anxieties, using these elements to create communities where horror content thrives. The chapter will examine the role of anonymity in fostering bold and often unsettling expressions of creativity, as well as how this freedom can desensitize users to moral and ethical considerations. Additionally, it'll explore the psychological mechanisms at play, including the drive for escapism and the inherent human attraction to mystery. Through a narrative style that combines detached observation with insightful analysis, the chapter aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of why we crave the spine-chilling and the terrifying in our online interactions. The allure of anonymity and the thrill of the unknown. The anonymity provided by online platforms like 4chan plays a significant role in heightening the allure of horror. This sense of detachment and freedom allows users to engage with content that they might otherwise shy away from in real life, providing a fertile ground for both consuming and generating psychological terror. One of the key aspects of this phenomenon is escapism in a digital world. Online anonymity permits users to explore their darkest thoughts without facing real-world consequences. In many ways, these virtual spaces become sanctuaries where the boundaries of social norms are blurred or entirely disregarded. For instance, a person may feel emboldened to discuss taboo subjects or share their inner fears under the cloak of anonymity. The freedom from identification removes the inherent risk of judgment or repercussion, making it easier for individuals to engage with macabre subjects. This environment can be particularly appealing to young adults and fans of psychological thrillers who are curious about the darker aspects of human nature. Furthermore, humans have an innate attraction to the unknown. This curiosity often drives people towards mysteries and unexplained phenomena, even if it brings them face to face with danger. The internet, especially its more concealed corners like 4chan, becomes a treasure trove of such mysterious content. The allure here lies not just in the stories themselves, but in the act of uncovering them. Engaging with enigmatic content feeds the natural human tendency to seek answers, even if the process involves unsettling or terrifying discoveries. This sense of seeking and often finding the inexplicable is what fuels much of online horror culture. Anonymity also plays a crucial role in amplifying the power of hidden identities. When people do not have to attach their real names or faces to their actions, they often feel empowered to express themselves in ways that are more extreme or provocative. This boldness can lead to the creation and dissemination of more unsettling content. The mask of anonymity lowers the barriers to participation, enabling a more significant number of individuals to contribute to the pool of horrifying material available online. This dynamic creates a feedback loop where increasingly intense and disturbing content is not only consumed, but also actively produced and shared. 4chan, with its minimal oversight and moderation, serves as a playground for experimentation. The lack of stringent rules means that users are encouraged, either overtly or implicitly, to push the boundaries of what is acceptable. This can result in a variety of outcomes, from harmless pranks to deeply disturbing posts that blur the lines between fiction and reality. The platform's design fosters an environment where ordinary users might venture into creating extreme content that challenges social norms and ethical boundaries. It's a space where creative expression knows few limits, making it a hub for trying out new ideas, however dark or unorthodox they might be. For example, one can see how 4chan's notorious creepypasta stories have gained popularity. These short horror anecdotes, initially shared anonymously, often escalate in intensity and intricacy, drawing readers into complex narratives filled with psychological terror. The anonymity factor makes these stories more compelling because the audience has no way of verifying their origins, adding to the mystique and fear surrounding them. This unregulated creativity, combined with the thrill of engaging with the anonymous masses, keeps users coming back for more. Moreover, anonymity facilitates a form of collective storytelling where users build on each other's contributions. Interactions on platforms like 4chan can turn individual posts into sprawling threads of collaborative horror narratives. The ephemeral and dynamic nature of these interactions enhances the excitement, allowing users to participate in ongoing stories that evolve in real time. The result is a living, breathing entity that thrives on user engagement and collective input, further enriching the site's appeal as a horror hub. However, the detached nature of online anonymity does come with its pitfalls. While it can liberate individuals to explore and create freely, it can also desensitize them to the moral and ethical implications of their actions. Without accountability, some users may delve deeper into darker content, crossing lines that they would never approach in the physical world. This descent can have real-world repercussions, affecting mental health and well-being as individuals consume and perpetuate increasingly harmful narratives. How 4chan exploits our deepest fears and anxieties. Tapping into primal fears is a powerful strategy that 4chan exploits to evoke fear and unease in its users. Content on the platform often targets deep-seated human anxieties like death, isolation, and the unknown. These primal fears are universal and inherent in human psychology, making them effective tools for eliciting strong emotional responses. For example, frequent posts featuring graphic violence or stories involving shadowy figures and eerie phenomena trigger an instinctual fear of the unknown, compelling users to react viscerally. The platform's ability to provoke these deep-rooted fears makes it unique in its psychological impact, creating a profoundly unsettling experience for its audience. Creating suspense and tension is another method 4chan utilizes to intensify the psychological impact of its horror narratives. The platform's format, which allows for layered threads and staggered updates from various anonymous users, builds a form of interactive storytelling. An initial post might introduce a chilling scenario that gets progressively intensified by subsequent comments and additions from other users. This ongoing interaction keeps readers on edge as they continually anticipate the next twist or gruesome detail. This mechanism leverages the element of suspense, heightening tension with each new contribution and making the overall narrative more immersive and engaging. Amplifying real-world anxieties and uncertainties is a tactic that further enhances the psychological terror experienced by 4chan users. In today's world, many people grapple with stressors like political instability, economic insecurity, and social unrest. By embedding these contemporary fears into its content, 4chan ensures that its horror narratives resonate on a deeply personal level. Users see reflections of their own worries and fears mirrored in the unsettling posts, creating a sense of immediacy and relevance. For instance, conspiracy theories and stories about societal collapse tap into existing anxieties, blurring the lines between fiction and reality and magnifying the psychological impact. Reinforcement through community interactions on 4chan creates a feedback loop that perpetuates and intensifies psychological terror. The platform's communal nature means that users not only consume disturbing content but also contribute to it, facilitating a shared experience of fear and unease. As individuals engage with others who share similar anxieties and fears, these emotions are continuously reinforced and amplified. This collective engagement fosters a sense of belonging while simultaneously escalating the psychological impact of the horror content. The community aspect ensures that the fear is not just an individual experience, but a communal one, making it more enduring and pervasive. One of the ways 4chan taps into primal fears is through the use of smut bots, which generate explicitly violent and gory content. According to a study, these bots have produced descriptions involving extreme violence, such as babies in blenders and neo-Nazi sexual assault. This type of content manipulates users' innate fears of deathly and bodily harm, pushing the boundaries of what is considered morally acceptable. Such graphic depictions can desensitize viewers over time, altering their perceptions of violence and increasing the likelihood of aggressive behavior. By consistently exposing users to this kind of material, 4chan ensures that these primal fears remain at the forefront, exploiting them for maximum psychological effect. The platform's design facilitates the creation of suspense and tension by allowing users to post anonymously. This anonymity encourages more extreme contributions, as individuals feel less accountable for their actions. The constant influx of new, unpredictable content keeps users in a state of heightened alertness. The thrill of uncovering something shocking or taboo becomes addictive, drawing users deeper into the site's dark narratives. Threads are often left open-ended, inviting speculation and further engagement from the community. This perpetual state of suspense makes the experience more immersive and psychologically taxing, as users are never quite sure what to expect next. 4chan's ability to amplify real-world anxieties is evident in how it incorporates elements of current events and societal issues into its horror narratives. For example, during periods of political turmoil, posts may include references to government conspiracies or impending societal collapse. These narratives exploit existing fears, making the content even more relevant and frightening. Users who are already anxious about these issues are more likely to find themselves drawn into these discussions, exacerbating their fears. The blending of real-world issues with horror elements creates a more potent psychological impact, as the content feels both immediate and plausible. User interactions on 4chan play a crucial role in reinforcing shared fears and anxieties. When users discuss their experiences of fear and unease, they validate each other's feelings, creating a feedback loop that intensifies these emotions. This communal validation makes the fear more tangible and less likely to be dismissed as irrational. In some cases, users may even collaborate to create more elaborate and terrifying narratives, further deepening the sense of shared dread. The collective nature of these experiences makes the psychological impact more enduring, as users are constantly reminded of their fears through the reactions and contributions of others. Real-life impacts, stories that have transcended the digital realm. Examining the influence of online horror narratives, especially those originating from platforms like 4chan, reveals a complex interplay between fiction and reality. These horror stories often blur the lines between what's real and imagined, having profound effects on individuals' beliefs and actions. For instance, the infamous Slenderman case involved two young girls who believed the fictional character was real and attempted to murder their friend to appease him. This chilling event underscores how deeply some people can become enmeshed in these online tales, leading them to act upon fabricated horrors as though they were factual. The cultural ramifications of online horror are equally significant. These narratives can shape societal fears, embedding themselves into the collective consciousness and influencing discussions on morality and ethics. When a story goes viral on 4chan, it doesn't just stay confined to digital spaces, it permeates mainstream culture, becoming a topic of debate and reflection. Urban legends born from 4chan's darker corners often mirror contemporary anxieties, bringing taboo subjects into the public eye. In doing so, they challenge existing moral frameworks and prompt society to re-evaluate its stance on certain issues. This widespread dissemination of fear and unease can reshape cultural norms and values over time. Engaging with unsettling content on platforms like 4chan can have lasting psychological repercussions. The sheer volume and intensity of these horror stories can desensitize users, making them more indifferent to violence and cruelty. Prolonged exposure to such content can also exacerbate existing mental health conditions. Anxiety, paranoia, and depression are common among those who immerse themselves in 4chan's macabre offerings. The platform's anonymity and lack of moderation only amplify these effects, allowing disturbing content to proliferate unchecked. As a result, individuals may find themselves haunted by the images and stories long after they've logged off, struggling to separate their digital experiences from real-life emotions. Notable examples of 4chan horror narratives seeping into the real world highlight this phenomenon. One striking case involves the Blue Whale Challenge, a sinister game rumored to encourage participants to complete a series of dangerous tasks, culminating in suicide. While the actual existence of the game remains disputed, the panic it generated was very real, leading to heightened parental concern and media coverage worldwide. Similarly, the creepypasta narrative surrounding the fictional character Jeff the Killer has inspired real-life criminal acts, with perpetrators citing the story as an influence. These instances underscore the power of online horror to spill over into tangible consequences, affecting not only the participants, but their broader communities as well. Such stories illustrate the broader implications of engaging with horror content on platforms like 4chan. They show that the boundary between online and offline worlds is porous, with digital narratives capable of shaping real-world beliefs and behaviors. By examining these influences, we can better understand the ways in which our digital engagements impact our perceptions of reality, morality, and mental health. Final insights. This chapter has journeyed through the creation and evolution of /X, 4chan's paranormal board, highlighting its role in fostering some of the earliest and most disturbing internet stories. We explored how anonymity on 4chan allowed users to craft and share horror narratives without inhibition, creating a unique culture where reality and fiction intertwined seamlessly. The collaborative nature of the platform enabled tales like the Russian sleep experiment and creatures such as Zalgo to flourish, becoming foundational elements of digital horror folklore. Further, we examined the influential myths of Slenderman and Candle Cove, which emerged from 4chan and captivated audiences far beyond its borders. These legends demonstrate the power of communal storytelling and the potential for user-generated content to evolve into widespread cultural phenomena. As we've seen, the participatory environment of these communities not only enhances the stories, but also blurs the lines between creator and audience, setting the stage for future innovations in horror narratives. We delved into how unsettling stories from 4chan have shaped modern internet culture. By examining the evolution of Pepe the Frog and the Backrooms, we saw how these tales can start innocently but take on darker meanings through collective online engagement. Platforms like 4chan allow anonymous users to contribute freely, leading to collaborative storytelling that can influence broader media, from movies to games. The stories of Pepe and the Backrooms highlight the power and potential danger of internet anonymity and communal content creation. These legends show how easily online communities can transform simple ideas into complex narratives with significant cultural impact. As digital folklore evolves, it challenges traditional notions of authorship and reflects contemporary fears and societal anxieties. We've explored the psychological reasons behind our fascination with horror and the macabre in online spaces like 4chan. The anonymity these platforms provide allows users to engage with content they might avoid in real life, creating a space where social norms are often disregarded. This environment fosters both the consumption and creation of disturbing material, driven by a combination of escapism and curiosity about the unknown. The act of uncovering such content fulfills a deep-seated human desire for mystery and suspense, while the lack of accountability encourages more extreme expressions of fear and anxiety. The collective nature of these online interactions means that users not only consume but also contribute to the pool of unsettling content, reinforcing and amplifying their own fears and those of others. While this can offer a sense of community, it also has significant drawbacks, including desensitization and potential harm to mental health. By examining how platforms like 4chan exploit our deepest fears and anxieties, we gain insight into the powerful and sometimes troubling impact that digital horror can have on individual and collective psyches. These observations highlight the fine line between fascination and danger in our engagement with online horror narratives.